Welcome to Tattletale. Here's today's story. AITA for not letting my stepsister borrow my wedding dress. Plus 9 months after update. Throwaway in case people involved are in Reddit. Me, F23, got married to my husband about a year ago. It was wonderful and probably the happiest day of my life. My family was involved with everything and I was delighted by it, including my stepfather, who at first I had a somewhat rocky relationship with, but I grew to appreciate him. His daughter, F26, is an entire different story. We can't get along. I've tried and I'm sure she also has. But it's not about being different. It's because she has always had very similar taste as me. We used to fight about our clothes, our toys, and so on. She has a relationship with a man whom I've got to know maybe 3 or 4 times. She announced her relationship with him during my wedding, which annoyed me at first, but I let it go since it was only a 20-second PSA and became engaged just 4 months after that. Now, she has been planning her wedding, and I've tried to help as much as I can since I already had most contacts fresh. She plans to marry a day after Christmas, so I thought everything was set and ready to go. On Saturday, she calls me crying, saying that her wedding dress wouldn't arrive on time since she had some changes done. For some context, no one knows how this dress looks because she wanted to keep it a surprise for everyone, per her own words. I tried to comfort her, and I told her I knew some cute boutiques who had nice wedding dresses ready for her date. She cries harder, telling me she didn't want any cheap dress. I tried to calm her down once more before telling her I would call my stepdad to see what we could do. Before I could finish that sentence, she says out of the blue, "Can I wear your dress?" I didn't respond because I didn't know how to. She goes on, explaining that it would make things less troubling, how she's the same size as me, and how much she loved it the second she saw it on me. I don't know what possessed me to simply say no and hang up the phone. I've received multiple calls from her fiancé, and my stepdad, who I did respond to. He pleaded to me to let her borrow my wedding dress, just like when we were kids. I tried to explain to him that my wedding dress was very special to me, and I wouldn't feel comfortable letting anyone else in it, unless it was my decision. He got super angry with me and hung up. My messages have been exploding with my stepsister, her soon-to-be husband, and my stepdad telling me how horrible I am for being so selfish. I know how my stepsister is. I know how dramatic and over-the-top she can be when she doesn't get her way. But there's a part of me that feels awful for not letting her wear it since it's just a dress, and it would make her so happy. But there's that other part of me that remembers how my husband, my mom, and I struggled to save for it because it was my dream dress, and I don't want to share something so personal with her. Should I just let her have it just so things don't escalate? Update. I'll go see her now. I'll update when I get home. Update 2, well, that happened. I arrived at said coffee shop just in time. She took half an hour to get there. I talked as gently as I could with her, explaining how I didn't want her to wear my wedding dress and why, since it was so emotionally attached to me. She went absolutely nuts. She called me a selfish cow, telling me how I'm the most horrible human ever. I tried to calm things down until I just couldn't do it anymore. I knew this was a possibility, so as soon as she started crying, I pulled out her wedding invitation and gave it back to her. I told her I wouldn't be attending the wedding, but I hoped it all went perfectly. Her voice couldn't get louder at this point. She threatened to come to my house and take it from me. I simply left the coffee shop without saying another word, and now I'm home. This is some sort of update to a previous post I made almost a year ago, but some things have definitely happened. Per my last post, my F24 stepsister, F27, got married last December. She asked for my wedding dress after not wanting to even look for one herself. I said no. I stood my ground and I didn't go to her wedding. Fast forward to last month. She and her husband have separated. She says they are only taking a break. I begun to rebuild my relationship with her. I took time and effort to find a way to talk to her and even go out and double dates with his husband and mine. That went really well, up until the break she took with her hubby. She stopped talking to me altogether, ghosted me when I wanted to plan stuff, and I figured she only needed some time. Up until she calls me again in the middle of August. She wants to come over to my house and talk. I genuinely felt happy to have her come over, since my stepdad kept pressuring to finally make peace. She comes over, we have coffee, and she asks to see my closet since she was going out on a date and had nothing to wear. I thought this was full circle moment for both us, so I said yes. We looked through my clothes, and I picked something that went well with her. She said thanks and put the outfit in a bag she brought with her and left. Some days pass, and as I was cleaning my own closet, I find that the spot where my wedding dress was hanging from was empty. It was in a garment bag, and it was there since I don't want it to wrinkle so bad since the fabric was a little fragile. I freaked out, searched for it everywhere. I realized the last time I saw it was before my stepsister came. I called her and asked sincerely in case I was wrong. She got extremely defensive and hung up the phone. I called my stepdad. He was angry at me for thinking she could do that. Later, my stepdad calls again. He got my stepsister to tell the truth. She stole it while I was looking for an outfit for her. He tells me to calm down and to resolve this like adults, but I called her again and simply said to prepare her lawyers. This created massive drama within my family, and I was too livid to acknowledge it until my mom called me. Now, I'm thinking I may be crossing a line, but that dress means too much for me. I saved every penny I got, and it truly was the dress of my dreams. I'm scared to find out if she did anything to it. AITA for suing my stepsister?